Hey, we're Watch It or Don't. Tom, Matt, Dan. And today we're going to be doing our second ever over-under, where we say the most overrated or the most underrated movie in a year. This year is 2006, the year that debuted Daniel Craig as James Bond, and he's one of my favorite now, definitely. Same year that saw The Departed win Best Picture, didn't it?
Yep.
I love a good gangster movie. We have a friend that watched it 7 times in a row once because he was too lazy to get it out of a DVD player. True story.
It was more than that.
More than that. Pirates of the Caribbean had a sequel that I hated. It's a bridge. That's a whole other thing. Not one of the over-underrated movies, but yeah, let's start it up, Tom.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go with my overrated movie for 2006, and I am choosing 300. And
Okay.
I do want to say I don't dislike 300. I will tolerate it. I'll watch it and kind of enjoy it sometimes. But it is just a mindless action movie, and that's okay, but it's not something that I always like. It looks really good. It looks great. Very pretty if you are into the whole pecs and gore. And
Pecs and
slow-mo.
gore.
So much slow-mo. But people kind of worship that movie as like the guy movie, you know, and
It's
I'm
not
the
as
guy.
good on the second viewing, for sure.
No, actually, I think I liked it more the second
Oh,
time.
really? For
But
me,
that's because
yeah,
I
I
had
didn't
high
like it.
expectations.
I
the
don't know
first
many
time.
movies that look like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
It's
the thing.
unique.
It is
It's
so
And,
unique for that.
I mean, if you've ever browsed through the graphic novel, I mean, it artistically is really
To a T.
really great, you know, and they did a good job of kind of copying like the color palette and the silhouettes and stuff, and it was cool. But as a movie, it's okay, whatever.
It's one of those movies, if it wasn't a big success at the box office, it'd be this huge cult classic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still
It
feel like
did
it has
so
a
well.
culty following.
But it did
for a
so
little-
well. It was
It
such a
did.
popular thing.
It's just a
gets
following.
All right, I'll agree.
Matt, what do
I'll
you
agree
think
with
for overrated?
Overrated, I'm going to say Little Miss Sunshine,
Okay.
which I remember the first time I heard about that movie, people were like, oh my god, you got to see this movie. And I was like, okay, it was good. People were like, oh, you're colorblind. You're going to think it's really funny because of this one part. I thought it was acceptable as a colorblind person. My feelings were like, yeah, I guess that would be a problem. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I don't know, it's okay. People, I just remember, were like, oh my god, you got to see it. It's an okay movie. There's parts where it's like, it's dragging a little, but
Yeah, definitely.
it's Steve Carell's in it, right?
Yeah.
He's my favorite part of the movie.
I actually really like Little Miss Sunshine, and for me, it's just
I'm not saying I
kind of-
don't like it.
No,
I'm just
I know,
saying
I know.
that it's overrated.
But like
overrated.
just as a whole, I think it works really well. I mean, especially when you got like kind of the good cast, and it's
good
it's kind of
cast.
witty writing, and Devotka's score for it is really great, some really great songs, and I think it fits together really well.
Well,
for
you're a
what I
super
wanted.
freak.
I thought it was pretty meh. I'm kind of with you on that.
Thanks.
My overrated movie for 2006 is Talladega Nights, the Will Ferrell movie. I saw an article recently where it ranked all 27 of Will Ferrell movies, and this was
Wow.
number 5,
Ooh,
which really surprised me. I remember
disagree.
this is a very popular movie when it came out. A lot of people really liked this movie. Critics liked this movie a lot, surprisingly. And it's directed by Adam McKay, who's done, he did Anchorman, Step Brothers, The Other Guys.
It's a Will Ferrell movie.
All these classic Will Ferrell movies. This is definitely the worst of the McKay Will Ferrell movies. It feels like an Adam Sandler movie in the worst way.
Oh,
It's just
good
like
burn. That was a good burn.
it feels like Will Ferrell is great in like when he's kind of reined in by either a script or by other characters. This one, he's just kind of free range, and
Yeah.
some things work, some things don't. For the most part, though, it's just not very funny.
I also feel like he leans on a stereotype. Is that
Definitely,
fair?
yeah.
And it's like, we get it.
I think certain people love quoting this movie but the
It
quotes
does have
the quotes that I hear, it's like that wasn't funny the first time you heard it.
I
I can't stand Talladega Nights.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little harsh. I feel like the reason that maybe I don't like it as much is just because it's tamer than Will Ferrell movies, and Will Ferrell movies are only funny because they're like absurd. And it's like,
Right.
hey, let's
This is
make
not
this
absurd enough.
slightly less absurd, and then it's just like, oh, it's kind of an okay comedy.
Well,
Right.
I don't remember being in theaters, but I feel like everyone quotes it because it's on TV
Yeah.
constantly. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's on
It's a
Comedy
college
Central.
frat boy movie.
It is.
But it's not funny enough for me to watch it.
I would say it's an okay.
Again.
It's one of my least favorites.
It's
of
definitely
his.
maybe besides Land of the Lost and Bewitched, this is the worst
Oh.
Will Ferrell movie.
I have seen.
Oh.
Transitioning then to most underrated. This is kind of funny. I'm also going with the Will Ferrell movie, most underrated 2006, Stranger Than Fiction, by Mark Forster. It stars Will Ferrell as he's a tax accountant.
He's an auditor.
The auditor.
Yeah.
He's very nerdy. He's very tame for Will Ferrell standards.
Yeah.
He's kind of funny here and there, but it's funny more of his circumstances, not the character himself.
Yeah.
No, he's a good character,
He's a
though.
good character, and he
Yeah.
finds that he's hearing a voice. His life is being narrated by this book author. This book author, played by Emma Thompson, is kind of writing about his life. and it's a really unique story, I think. And
Yeah.
it kind of shows, kind of like Robin Williams and Jim Carrey before him, how like these comedic actors can really show some
A serious role. Yeah.
good acting chops. I think Will Ferrell's great in this
He
movie.
did,
I wish
he
he did. I wish this had been a huge success, so he'd done more movies like this.
Well,
He's
the
done a
problem-
few that are
I
similar,
I
but-
didn't like the movie. I know you guys like it. I
Yeah.
didn't like it that much. And I think that's just because I love Will Ferrell as the comedic, and yes, he was great at acting it, but the movie was too deep. Like he doesn't, to me, believe he should be in a deep movie. Like, that movie really made me think. Thanks, Will Ferrell.
But the
Well,
thing
that's-
is, it's not just about
it
him.
hurt
Right.
my head that he was
Like,
in a deep movie.
Dustin Hoffman's good in it.
Yeah.
Emma Thompson's good in it. Maggie
I mean,
Gyllenhaal's good in it.
I should give it another
that's,
pass.
That's not to say that the humor in the movie isn't good. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is so funny,
It's just not
but
as
it's just
typical.
and it's just so much more endearing than watching Will Ferrell make an ass of himself.
It's a
you know?
really moving movie. I love
Yeah.
it. So that's my underrated for 2006. Stranger Than Fiction. What do you got?
My underrated would be a World War I movie called Flyboys.
James Franco.
Yes, James Franco, which if you've seen This Is the End,
Yeah, he's got
he
the
brings
gun.
a prop from that movie, and
My
that's
dad
fantastic.
loves that movie.
It is a good movie, and it's very underrated because it's World War One, and there's not too many good World War One movies. It's all Saving Private Ryan and World War Two. Be like, pfft.
It didn't
But
do
this-
very well at the box
It didn't do
office.
very well, but trust me, it is worth a see.
Okay.
All right, my underrated is a movie called The Fall, directed by Tarsum Singh. He's a guy who went on to do Immortals and Mirror Mirror, so nothing really good.
Nice, good sell.
Yeah, but The Fall stars Lee Pace, and it's just this like gloriously beautiful piece. And I mean, it's these really fascinating, beautiful colors, all filmed on location.
It's kind of like a living fairy tale, right? We
A
watched
bit.
it.
I mean, it's about a man who is working as a stunt actor in early Hollywood and becomes paralyzed, and he's in a hospital and strikes up this friendship with this little girl and tells her stories. But then you also find out that he's not really in it for the friendship. He wants painkillers, you know.
Mm.
So he's making up these stories, and so they, show them, and he acts out as the bandit, the main character, and it's this wild fantasy, and you don't quite understand why it is like structured the way it is.
Mhm.
But then it just turns into this beautiful piece, and like I said, the visuals are gorgeous and really, really kind of emotional and moving once you get towards the
Yeah, I remember you
end
showed
of
me
it.
that. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
liked
and
it.
I really love the movie. I think it needs to be much more popular than it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's over under for 2006. We gotta wrap it up here.
Yeah.
We are Watch It or Don't. We'll have more videos coming to you. We'll have movie reviews. We'll have more of these over unders.
Hey,
We're
in the comments, if you have an underrated
Yeah.
movie from 2006, let us know. There's a lot of them. In there.
yeah, there are a
Mhm.
lot. I had a hard
Yeah.
time choosing. Anyway, we're on Facebook and Twitter, and you can definitely subscribe on YouTube for more content. Thanks.